So you've clicked on this video and you want some help on how to hit drivers straight. But how do you know that this video is actually going to help you? How can we avoid the typical trap that we all get into sometimes of clicking on a video and trying random things that often don't work? Well, in this video, what I want to share with you is things that I share with my students that they take to the golf course. So if they were to slice the golf ball, they have specific things that they can do, ingredients that they can put into their setup and their swing that if they're slicing it, they can immediately start to reduce their slice or their hook, as opposed to hoping that this is going to work. Because everything I teach you today, I guarantee will help you hit driver straighter. And I can't wait to share it with you. It's like the starting point with all of my students. It gives them that confidence that if they start losing it on a golf course, all they've got to do is put these 2 or 3 things in place and they will start to hit the ball much, much better. So before I do that, if you're new to the channel, so your first lessons of mine, please consider subscribing. Are these videos just like this one every single week to try and help you improve your game. But you never have to remember a thing. Everything we do here, I'll put into a free download or practice guide in the description box below. So whether you slice the golf ball way to the right or hook it way to the left, if you want to hit the ball much straighter, it's really important that you're putting in ingredients in your swing that are going to actually move you to a much straighter golf shot. Too often what I'm finding is golfers are choosing random tips that aren't going to help whatsoever. This is what I'm about to teach you will. Now, when I'm dealing with my students, I always show them the concept of why they're slicing, why they're hooking to start with, so they've got some idea. Then what I'll do is I'll show you, once they understand that, this is the ingredients that you need to put in play on a golf course. Let me show you what I mean. So the golf swing is always an arc. We don't play golf with a straight shaft, we play it at an angle. So the club look starts here. It works upwards and inwards on the way back. It works downwards and outwards on the way through until it gradually comes round to the center of the golf swing where it reaches the bottom of its arc. And then it works inwards and upwards again, right? That's kind of what's happening all the time. Now, if you happen to be slicing the golf ball, what's happening with yourself is this. Even though the ball is heading out way to the right, it goes there because of the spin, not because you hit it there. What's happening is you're hitting actually, if you're a right-hander, to the left of the target. Your arc is coming this way. The only reason why it goes over there is because the face is open and you're basically putting side spin on it. That curves the ball over to the right. If you hook the golf ball, your ball hooks way over to the left, not because you swung there. Actually, you're swinging, look, way over to there. But the reason why it then hooks this way is because the face look is closed to that path, and that produces kind of spin. If it didn't, and you swung that way with a face square, you'd hit a straight shot over to the right-hand side. So let's start with slicing. If you want to fix your slice and start hitting the ball much, much straighter, what we've got to create is we've got to help you, rather than get the path swinging more this way, we've got to get somehow your path heading, feeling like it's heading much, much more to the right whilst controlling that club face. So let's start putting in those ingredients now, what I give these ingredients to my students, so you can take it straight to the golf course. So whenever my students are slicing the golf ball, they have a toolbox of things that they can test and try out on the golf course that can help them hit driver straight. Now, we've just said, look, you've just seen, if you're slicing it, the club path is heading way to the left and the face is open. Now, the first thing I'll always say to people is most wins can be achieved right at setup, super, super quick. So look at this here. If you look at my lead shoulder here and the club, they're all in a line. This is the bottom of your arc, right? If you hit a golf ball here, so you're hitting it so that the club's ahead of the lead shoulder, the path now, look, is heading left of target, right? So just bear that in mind. If we hit a ball slightly to the right of my lead shoulder, the path is going to be heading slightly to the right. So we're now moving towards draw, stroke, hook territory. This is the sensation that I want if you happen to be slicing it. So what could you do at setup? Well, I'm going to ask you that. Where should the ball position be? What's the first thing you should look for? Look at the ball position. If the ball is way forward of our lead shoulder here, what's that going to do? It's going to get the path going more left. So what can we do? Look at your lead shoulder, make sure the ball is at best in line with your lead shoulder, or even look, maybe even a little bit behind that lead shoulder to help you swing where? Catch the ball more with a path that's heading this direction as opposed to this direction. There's the first thing. What else could you do to help that path go this way? Well, we could certainly make sure that we're all lined up, but beyond that, what could we do with our weight? If we push our pelvis slightly further forward, what would that do? That would help us swing where? More to the right, yeah? Moving towards hook territory versus slice territory, right? Helping that sensation, right? Versus, look, if I move my pelvis more back here, what's happened to my lead shoulder as well? Everything's going behind the golf ball. I'm more likely to swing it left and create that slice. So we've got ball position back. We've got our weight slightly further forward. You can already see what's happening to my handle. The handle is working upwards and forwards. The higher the handle and the more it is forward, the more chance, look, of hitting it where? More onto the right side, the path heading to the right. This is going to help us hit more of a draw style shape. If I have the handle low and inwards, I'm now coming down and look, across the golf ball versus look, handle forward and upwards. All these things that set up are going to help us to get the path working more to the right hand side. Simple ingredients. And you could add more and more of them to help. So once we've got an idea of that path going inwards, we do need to take control of the club face. And the fastest way I found with my students to do this is something that I learned from a friend of mine, Andreas Kelly. Brilliant exercise of simply just put your arms out like this, right? Take your lead arm and trail arm, put your lead arm on top and your trail arm underneath. When you do that, if you grip the golf club like this and like this, what do you notice? The face for you is straight, but where are my forearms? This lead forearm is higher than my trail forearm. So my path now is going to be heading more to the right-hand side, more to the right of where the face is aiming. This is going to help. If I hit a shot from here, what's the shape of this shot? Let's have a look at this. So here's a good example. See that little draw there? So I want my students to start with actually almost sometimes overdoing that. So they've added those ingredients into their swing. And once you've done that, remember, these are just ingredients. So whether it's ball position slightly further back, weight slightly further forward, handle further forward, getting the alignment, forearms more aiming in this direction. You can see here, look, I'm more likely to get the path out to the right as long as that club face is aiming left of where my path's going. I've, in a sense, moved into more draw territory and completely away from slice. If you hook the golf ball, you just reverse that. So now look at this. I'm going to reverse it. This will be moved towards slice. The handle starts to drift further backwards, the ball slightly further forwards, the weight not as far forward, it starts to drift more here. So we're neutralizing everything up here. Both feelings are extreme, and that's what I want you to do. Whether you hook the ball or slice the golf ball, get the ball moving, if you slice it, almost in a hook style way. Your ball's going to the right, not because you're swinging there. That's the spin that takes it there. The more I can get you swinging, feeling like you're swinging that direction naturally, not by you shoving it there, that's artificial. Just by the pure geometry of a golf swing, the better you're going to be. So what could you actually do in swing? So you've got some simple setup things, and those are things that I love my students to kind of focus on to start with, right? Super, super simple. Well, if we are going to look at in-swing things, remember, we said, look, we want to have ways to get your path not swinging here, but more swinging here. So I think the first thing to recognize is you've set yourself up to win by getting a great setup position. Well, how do we get the hands deeper around? The further they are behind us, the more chance we've got of swinging where? To the right, which is going to help you reduce your slice. Too many golfers, unfortunately, they keep everything, their chest, their hips, they're basically staying quite close to the golf ball here, and they're doing this, and there's no movement here, so the hands are only hanging around this space. From here, from there, you're just going to find it very difficult to hit from the inside. So how do we get those hands more behind us? Just take your trail pocket, and this is what I'll do, is allow the trail leg to naturally straighten and get the trail pocket moving towards the target. Trail pocket, look, moving towards the target. That gets the hands working more around the body and giving you a better chance now to come on this side of the golf ball. So you could think of anything like that. You could even come up with your own solutions. We've got to find ways to get you coming from the inside, and that is definitely one way of doing it. One in swing that a student of mine, Paul, loved this week was with his trail leg, don't let this trail leg come in too quickly. When you're at the top of the backswing, just imagine it stays much, much straighter here. So it's almost like you're, in a sense, pushing this way. So notice this. If I keep that leg feeling like it's, in a sense, pushed backwards and away and not kind of bending forwards like this, that gives me space, look, to come this way. And you can see here, I'm almost like hanging it back almost here, this way, to help me come from the inside. Most players, they spin this way, and that gets them coming much, much more over the top. So these are simple in-swing things you can do. But the ingredients that I suggest you start with are always setup. You will be amazed at what you can achieve with setup. Keep visualizing the hook if you slice, or visualize more of a slice if you hook, and start putting those setup ingredients in. I hope this video gives you kind of almost a step-by-step system to start to improve the quality of all your ball strikes, not just with your driver, but your irons and fairways too, because this is exactly the same thing. If you'd like to know a little bit more detail on how these legs work in the golf swing to really help you not only hit straighter shots, but generate a little bit more power, check out this video right here where I worked with a student of mine, Paul, who was slicing his driver really badly, and we got it hitting it much, much straighter with some of these setup things, but one in-swing thing, this trail leg, hugely, hugely valuable. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with your friends, and of course, look, if you're new to the channel, come and press that subscribe button down, whoop, here. And remember, if you want personalized lessons from myself, head over to dannymaude.com, where we have lots of online lessons over there. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.